069 Incarnation of Death. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Of course, death is impossible to die. Everyone thought that today was a doomsday situation, but only Zhang Tianyu and Xiao Wu knew that the Titan giant ape came rushing towards Xiao Wu. After 2 seconds of silence, the Titan giant ape grabbed Xiao Wu abruptly, turned around and ran away. Xiao Wu! Everyone exclaimed. Zhang Tianyu has already taken off with his sword and chased after him. Tianyu! The crowd shouted again. Even Xiao Wu's eyes almost popped out of anxiety. I thought Zhang Tianyu was just a super genius, but I didn't expect him to be a genius against the sky. A 12-year-old soul sect with 4 soul rings, all 10,000 years old, this can scare people to death. He must be fine. Oscar! Get the mushroom sausage! Zhao Wuji roared. Okay, teacher, here we are, already ready. Oscar hurried over. When everyone was dealing with the giant ape titan just now, Oscar had already started making mushroom sausages. Hurry up! Xiao Wu hurriedly took one and ate it. I'll go and have a look, you stay here and don't run around. After finishing speaking, a pair of wings grew out of Zhao Wuji's back, and he flew into the air, chasing after Zhang Tianyu in the direction he left. The others stood on the ground and looked at each other. Little Ao, give me one. Tang San said first. But teacher Zhao just said. Tianyu is my best friend, the closest person to me besides my father. I can't just stand here and watch. Dai Mubai said, give me one too. Tianyu saved me just now I can't just stand here and watch. Give me one too. Ma Hongjun stretched out his hand, then Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing also stretched out their hands. Oscar. Then let's go together, just one for each of us. Everyone ate the mushroom sausage, rose into the air, and followed. In fact, this is a bit ridiculous. For a person who has never experienced flying, the first flight must have a process of adaptation. After all, this is not the down-to-earth you have been used to for more than 10 years. In Mother Earth's arms, it's okay for you to roll around, but in mid-air, first-time flyers have trouble keeping even their own balance. Not everyone can be a rocket pilot. If it is floating without gravity, it is more difficult to maintain balance, and rolling forward in mid-air is normal, of course. The fantasy world cannot be viewed from the perspective of the Muggle world, the speed of Titan giant ape. And Zhang Tianyu was beyond their ability to catch up. By the time they lifted off, the man and the ape had already disappeared. Meng, you really shouldn't have come out to look for me. Xiao Wu looked at the Titan giant ape and said with some complaints, the Titan ape is a bit of a pain in the ass. Next time, if you feel my aura again, observe it from a distance first, and don't shoot rashly, otherwise, it will be troublesome if you hurt my friend. Okay, Miss Wu. Meng felt even more pained. Damn, who hurt who? I didn't hurt that guy at all, okay, but I was hurt by that guy a lot. The few swords that were stabbed caused me to lose a lot of vitality, and those black fireballs, the place where I was hit by the black fireball is still. Huh, does it hurt where you got hit? Isn't it freezing cold? What's going on? Did I offset it with my own resistance? Meng, do you still feel uncomfortable where you were hit by the fireball? Xiao Wu asked. That is Tianyu's ghost fire, which can burn the soul. It seems that he has to remove it himself, otherwise it will burn in your body forever. It's not uncomfortable anymore. Meng was silent for a few seconds, and asked, Sister Xiao Wu, is that person you're talking about the spokesperson of the god of death in the world, or the incarnation of the god of death? Xiao Wu was taken aback. Meng said, although that person's strength is not very strong, his ability is very terrifying. After his sword pierced into my body, I could clearly feel that my body was corroded and my vitality was rapidly draining. Xiao Wu was silent for a few seconds, and said, his martial spirit has some evil spirits, and he can even release ghost fire to burn his soul, but he is not a bad person, and it is even more impossible for him to be the spokesperson of the god of death. He is just an ordinary, living as a human being. His martial spirit has mutated, which may be related to the mutation. Meng hesitated for a moment and said, anyway, Miss Xiao Wu, I don't recommend you get too close to that person. The death breath on him is too strong, and even I feel fear. Facing him is like facing the god of death. Xiao Wu shook her head. You don't know, we have been together day and night for 6 years, and he takes care of me and treats me very well. Forget about this, how is Meng? We're all fine, we just miss you. Seeing the sword light in the distance flying in another direction, Xiao Wu sighed. It's all good, now Tianyu is chasing in another direction, I just need to finish my 3rd soul ring quickly, I'm going to find him as soon as I'm done. Little dancer. Meng, help me protect the law, okay, Miss Wu. Not long after, Xiao Wu completed the self-awakening of her 3rd soul ring, her face became more mature and beautiful, and her figure became more round and plump. Speaking of which, Tianyu doesn't need to hunt soul beasts, he can obtain a soul ring through self-awakening, Xiao Wu said. If it wasn't because his martial soul is a sword, I would definitely regard him as a soul beast human beings. Is there such a thing? Meng frowned, feeling more and more that something was wrong. Okay, Meng, I'm going to find Tianyu, you should go back quickly and say hello to Daming for me. Little dancer. Xiao Wu has already left quickly. Zhang Tianyu was very cooperative, of course he knew that Xiao Wu was going to complete her 3rd soul ring, so he purposely wandered outside to give her enough time. Although the Marauder's map cannot cover the entire Star Doe forest, it can still be freely explored within 100 miles, so Zhang Tianyu entered Meng Yiran's name. That man-faced demon spider belongs to me. Anyway, Tang San must not be allowed to get the 8 spider spirit bones. Brush brush. The sword light flashed, the sword energy was vertical and horizontal, and the man-faced demon spider was directly chopped into meat. Reminder, the 8 spider soul bone was successfully extracted from the corpse of the man-faced demon spider and put into the system storage space. The host can directly activate and wear it, or give it to others. Hearing this prompt, Zhang Tianyu was a little dazed. Will the soul bone explode if you co-author this man-faced demon spider? Yes. The system said, no matter who kills, the soul bone will explode. Good guy, what other soul beasts are sure to explode? Can you tell me? Zhang Tianyu's eyes are shining. Soul bone, it's worth the old nose's money. Of course. The Titan giant ape and azure bull python will definitely explode their soul bones. Zhang Tianyu, do you need to say that? Can I not know this? There is also the deep sea demon whale king in the vast sea, who will also explode the soul bone. The system continued. Well, besides that, the boss of the last 3 sects will also explode their soul bones, won't they? Zhang Tianyu asked in a strange way. Yes, you are really smart. The system praised. 070 The very open Meng Yiran. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Thank you for complimenting me, can I beat those guys above? Zhang Tianyu said angrily, I'm talking about people like the man-faced demon spider. If I encounter it in the future, I will take the initiative to remind you. The system said, just as Zhang Tianyu was about to speak, a familiar voice sounded behind him, you are. Zhang Tianyu turned his head, and sure enough, Meng Yiran and Chao Tianxiang appeared. The one who appeared with them this time was an old man with white beard and hair, who was naturally Duke Long Mengshu. Boy, we are really destined. Chao Tianxiang's eyes lit up. As she spoke, she whispered something to Mengshu. Mengshu's eyes also brightened. So you are Zhang Tianyu, not bad. First of all, you look really extraordinary. I heard that you are already a soul master at the age of 12. Yes. Zhang Tianyu summoned Huang Quan, and Huang Zizi's 3 soul rings overflowed his body. Very good. Very good. Meng Shu was obviously very satisfied, and said with a smile, we have been tracking this man-faced demon spider for a day, and we have exhausted the number of times it spits out spider silk. We have put in a lot of effort. Originally, it was killed by others so easily. We must be very unhappy. If it were you, you would also be unhappy, right? It's such a fate, it's really helpless. Zhang Tianyu spread his hands, it wants to kill me, so I have to fight back. Meng Shu sneered, you're quite eloquent. Anyway, I won't join your family. You can tell me how to deal with it. Zhang Tianyu said. The other three were all taken aback. Chao Tianxiang and Meng Shu looked at each other. Dude, how does this kid know what we're trying to say? Meng Shu didn't react for a while, turned to look at Meng Yiran, wanting to ask Meng Yiran's opinion. Turning his head, he saw Meng Yiran looking at Zhang Tianyu with a nympho. And it's not an ordinary nympho, it's a bit like, a deeply brainwashed nympho. What's wrong with my granddaughter, taking the wrong medicine? This kid is good looking, but you don't want to look at him like a hungry wolf, do you? Is there anything special about this kid? Thinking of this, Duke Long turned his head and observed Zhang Tianyu carefully. Looking at it, I can see that something is going on. Intermediate snake smell. Oh, it's still going on. Duke Long's Wuhuan is the dragon staff. Although the dragon stick is much more advanced than the snake stick, in the settings given by the system, the dragon stick martial soul will also be affected by the smell of snakes, but it is not as obvious as the snake stick. So Longdong Meng Shu took a closer look. Hey, this kid, why does the more you look at it, the more pleasing to the eye? Well, not only does it look more pleasing to the eye, but it also gradually gives people a sense of intimacy, like the feeling of having a family blood relative. Boy, did you ever have a person with the surname Meng in your ancestors? Meng Shu asked. I don't know. Zhang Tianyu spread his hands. My parents passed away when I was very young, so I don't know anyone in the family tree. Duke Long and Snake Woman looked at each other, and asked Tianxiang, since you have no father, mother, or relatives, why did you refuse to join our family as soon as you came up? Because I'm used to being free. Joining the family will not only make me uncomfortable, but may also cause trouble for your family. In the original plot, Tang San killed the man-faced demon spider, and Meng still had a bad impression of Tang San, so Long Gong and Snake wanted Tang San to keep an arm. In the end, it was Zhao Wuji who came out and quietly told Meng Shu, Tang San's father is Tang Hao, Haotian Douluo. Even if you are so cowardly, you can't afford it. Then Mr. Long and Mrs. Snake said very generously that they would not pursue it. But now, Zhang Tianyu does not have Tang San's background, and is even an orphan without father and mother, but Zhang Tianyu is confident that he can escape unscathed. Still. Hey, Grandpa! Meng Shu yelled 3 times in succession before Meng Yiran regained his composure. If you have any ideas, just tell me. Meng Shu asked. Zhang Tianyu is not in a hurry. Anyway, Xiao Wu is still with the Titan giant ape. Zhao Waoqi and others have already met. There is no danger. Ah. I. Meng Yiran blushed, was at a loss for words for a while, and after stammering a few words, said, I don't care about the man-faced spider, but, I want to be alone with you for a while. I have something to ask you. Zhang Tianyu nodded and said, okay, I have no objection. Mr. Long and Mrs. Snake looked at each other. Well, we won't be too far away. After speaking, the two turned and left. Miss Meng, what's the matter with you? You. Meng still froze. This honorific title, so angry. What kind of honor do you use at this time? Can't you see that Miss Ben is interested in you? You. It's nothing, I just think you're a bit special. I want to be alone with you for a while. Meng Yiran blushed up to the neck. As he said that, Meng Yiran approached Zhang Tianyu, and even put on a puppy look, raised his head and kept sniffing some kind of smell in mid-air with his nose. While sniffing, he approached Zhang Tianyu. The closer she got, the more fascinated her expression became, the more blurred her eyes became, and the faster her breathing became. Is the effect of this medicine a little too strong? Will she throw me down uncontrollably later? Zhang Tianyu asked in his heart. Isn't that just what you want? Am I that kind of person? Zhang Tianyu retorted righteously. Whispering sound. Finally, Meng Yiran walked in front of Zhang Tianyu. The fascinated expression on her face reached its peak. The whole person almost leaned on Zhang Tianyu's body, sniffing around Zhang Tianyu almost obsessively and greedily. This reminds me of a puppy I used to have. Zhang Tianyu felt a little emotional for a while. Although I really enjoy this exciting feeling, I still have to act. Miss Meng, what is this? Are you feeling unwell? Or, do you have any special hobbies? Call me Yiran. Also, don't use the word you anymore. Meng Yiran looked up at Zhang Tianyu, his face was flushed with excitement and shyness, and Zhang Tianyu's heart was surging when he looked at her shy look. I almost couldn't hold back and took a bite. But it definitely can't do it now. Duke Long and Snake Lady are not far away. If Zhang Tianyu pushes her down, then he might really have to join Lao Meng's family. That's why they didn't stop Meng Yiran when they saw Meng Yiran lose his composure. Zhang Tianyu, it's time to test the determination of veteran cadres. So many girls are not sleeping in vain. Resistance is long overdue. Meng Yiran almost got into Zhang Tianyu's arms. Not only did the little nose sniff Zhang Tianyu non-stop, but the little white hands also hugged Zhang Tianyu's waist tightly. I don't know why, but I just think I like you so much. Tianyu, can you be my boyfriend? This. Zhang Tianyu was shocked, this old girl is so open and unrestrained. 071 Is Xiao Wu still her mother? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hasn't Zhang Tianyu seen such a girl who proactively shows her love? Of course I've seen it before, but that's on Earth, I haven't seen it on Douluo continent. Ahem, still, I don't think it can be so fast. Zhang Tianyu thought for a while, but still pushed the chick away. It won't work if you don't push it away. If you don't push me away, I'm going to be insane. No, I'm losing my mind. Why push me away? Don't you have feelings for me? Meng Yiran was a little shocked, and then continued to lean towards Zhang Tianyu, wanting to hug Zhang Tianyu. No, this is too enthusiastic, I can't take it anymore. Zhang Tianyu pushed her away again, took a few steps back, and then rose into the air, suspended in mid-air. Meng Yiran's expression was unfinished, and he looked unsatisfied, looking at Zhang Tianyu in mid-air, with a bit of resentment on his expression. Meng Yiran, if your grandparents are not here, if Xiao Wuji and the others don't move closer to this side, I will definitely obey you, so that you will be full of me when you go to bed in the future. You and I must exercise restraint. Still, it's not that I don't have feelings for you, it's just that, we are not children anymore, and we all know that everything must be done step by step, and we can't rush it. Good guy, you're too hasty, literally. The system complained. That means you have feelings for me? Meng still focused on the point. Zhang Tianyu was silent for 2 seconds, and thought about his words. It's a bit inappropriate to say that, at least I don't feel bad for you. I hope that the relationship between us is still a normal relationship so far. Anyway, if you have feelings for me, you can say yes or no. Meng Yiran's head is a little confused, or she is such a person who likes to focus directly on the key points. If you think so, then it's meaningless for me to say more. Zhang Tianyu said. Typical kickball tactics. Meng still looked straight at Zhang Tianyu. Anyway, no matter what, I'm going to fix you. Although I don't know why, I just have feelings for you. I have feelings. Then calm down first. If you finish speaking, you can go to your grandparents first. We have been alone for a long time. I am afraid they will misunderstand or worry. Meng remained silent for a while, and took out a blue gold-rimmed token from the soul guide on his wrist. One side of the token was engraved with the word Meng, and the other side was engraved with 2 entangled dragons and snakes. This is for you. Meng Yiran said. This is the token of our Meng family, Meng Yiran said. In the future, if you want to come to our Meng family as a guest, you can come anytime. We are in Tiando City. When you arrive in Tiando City, you can just ask around and you will know. Take this, you are a distinguished guest of our family. In the future, if you meet people from our Meng family outside, take out this token, and they will help you unconditionally. This is a bit expensive. Zhang Tianyu looked at it over and over in his hand. It's not precious at all. Meng Yiran closed his eyes forcefully, took a deep breath, and tried his best to suppress the fire of desire in his heart. When she opened her eyes again, her pupils were much clearer. Zhang Tianyu, you are in Shrek Academy, right? I will look for you when I am free in the future. After finishing speaking, she turned and left. Like an agile and vigorous cheetah, and quickly disappeared into the dense forest. She also knew that she had to restrain herself, so if she wanted to leave, she had to go quickly. She was already very unreserved today, and it might be a big deal if she continued to stay here. Damn! Why is he so handsome, and why does he have such a fascinating temperament? Why is such a good boy refusing to join our family? Why did you remain indifferent when I took the initiative just now? Damn! Soon, she met Dragon Lord and Snake Woman. The old couple turned around and looked at her with half a smile. That's it, Grandpa and Grandma, let's find another soul beast. Meng Shu said with a smile, that kid clicked the soul beast we prepared for you. Why don't you let that kid help you hunt a soul beast? No. Meng Yiran immediately refused. She really didn't want to have any more contact with Zhang Tianyu. If she continued to contact, she might be pregnant today. Okay, then listen to my good granddaughter. Zhang Tianyu turned around, watched the energy on the man-faced demon spider's soul ring dissipate little by little, then looked up at the dense forest more than 10 miles away. Xiao Wu and his party were in that direction, and at this moment, they were rushing here. Zhang Tianyu opened the Marauder's map again, checked Xiao Wu's position, and found that Xiao Wu was also coming in his direction. When Zhang Tianyu turned his direction, Xiao Wu saw it. After thinking for a while, Zhang Tianyu jumped into the air. Huang Quan flew out of the void, and flew to his feet quietly, quickly and accurately. Whoosh! Black light cut through the sky. Zhang Tianyu flew towards Xiao Wu's direction. Whoosh dash! Xiao Wu suddenly raised her head and looked into the air. The familiar figure came into view, and tears filled Xiao Wu's eyes in an instant. Tianyu! The black light stopped in the air. Xiao Wu! Huang Quan landed quickly, and Zhang Tianyu stood in front of Xiao Wu with a tired face. Xiao Wu! I finally found you. Are you okay? It's fine. Looking at Zhang Tianyu with a tired face, Xiao Wu couldn't control her emotions anymore. She threw herself into Zhang Tianyu's arms and hugged him tightly. I'm sorry, Tianyu, for making you worry. Xiao Wu said with a sob. Xiao Wu is now blaming herself, guilty, and moved. In this life, apart from my mother, Zhang Tianyu is the best person to me. If there is no Zhang Tianyu, there will never be someone who treats me so well in this life. The fall of a woman begins with self-motivation. If it is said that Xiao Wu in the past was still vacillating between the two different identities of lover and family, so now Xiao Wu has precisely positioned herself as Zhang Tianyu's lover. He must marry me in the future. I must marry him in the future. We must be together in the future. Otherwise it's not over. If Zhang Tianyu knew Xiao Wu's inner thoughts at this moment, he would definitely complain crazily. A rabbit who knows how to marry is really out of line. After the cuddling and hugging session, Xiao Wu explained, I don't know what happened. I passed out after the Titan ape grabbed me, and when I woke up, I happened to find a few unconscious ones beside me. Soul beasts, and one of them is just right for me. No need to explain. Zhang Tianyu patted her head, with a gentle expression on his face. As long as you are fine, nothing is better than nothing, and there is no need to explain anything. Xiao Wu's eye sockets became moist again. To have such a person who can trust oneself unconditionally, this life is really worth it. Let's go to Teacher Zhao and the others. They must be very anxious now. Xiao Wu nodded obediently, and hugged Zhang Tianyu's arm. This time you stand in front, and I stand behind you. Zhang Tianyu was taken aback, and quickly asked the system in his heart, is Xiao Wu still his mother? 072 Yu Xiaogang is finally here. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This sentence confused the system. Host, why did you ask if Xiao Wu is still a mother? What are you worried about? Then why is she standing behind me? System. Host, do you have any psychological shadows about being gay? You actually think that Xiao Wu is standing behind you to fuck you? Oh, Zhang Tianyu sighed, this is the trouble of being too handsome. If you haven't experienced it, don't make sarcastic remarks. System, I see. I see. Feijian flew into the air, and Xiao Wu stood behind Zhang Tianyu, hugging Zhang Tianyu's waist tightly. Zhang Tianyu heaved a sigh of relief. Later, the two met with Zhao Wu and others. Seeing that both of them were fine, Zhao Wu and the others all heaved a sigh of relief. and finally let go of their hanging hearts. At this time, their position was at the edge of the outer area of the Star Do Great Forest, and they were already close to the central area. Therefore, the number of thousand-year-old soul beasts had increased. It didn't take long for everyone to find a crypt spider suitable for Tang San, and successfully help Tang San obtain the third spirit ring. Not beyond Zhang Tianyu's expectation, Tang San's third soul ability is still spider web binding, but the soul bone is gone. In that case, fate has made some changes. Zhang Tianyu said in his heart. The system said something mysterious. After all, we are not insignificant and unknown people. Zhang Tianyu fell silent thoughtfully. 10 o'clock in the morning, the people who hadn't had much rest all night finally walked out of the Star Do forest with their exhausted bodies, and arrived at the small town before. Eat something well, rest well, and leave early tomorrow morning to go back to the academy. Xiao Wu said. Yes, Teacher Zhao. Everyone said weakly. In fact, during this trip, everyone was not very tired physically, but mainly mentally. After all, they just faced the Titan Great Ape. That super terrifying sense of oppression, when I think about it now, my heart is still beating wildly. There is a sense of despair in the face of death. Only Zhang Tianyu didn't feel the slightest psychological pressure. Not only did he not feel tired at all, he even wanted to go back to the academy immediately without taking a break. The reason is simple: Yu Xiaogang is here. On the day they rushed to the Star Do Great Forest, Yu Xiaogang also rushed to Shrek Academy. It was such a coincidence of fate. It must be said that the Marauder's map is really an amazing artifact. Although Zhang Tianyu is currently in the Star Do Great Forest, he can adjust the map to Suatua City to view and lock the characters in Suatua City. You can also turn the map back to Nodding City to view the characters in Nodding City, that is to say, which city you want to see, or which city or area you want to find people from. Has nothing to do with Zhang Tianyu's current location. However, they couldn't check places like Star Luo City, Tiando City, or Wuhuan City, because Zhang Tianyu has never been there. Places that have never been visited are covered by a fog on the map. As long as you have been there and strolled around, you can unlock them. Zhang Tianyu confirmed that Yu Xiaogang had arrived at Shrek Academy in the Star Do Forest through the Marauder's map. There was nothing to say all night, and early the next morning, everyone was full of energy and set foot on the way back to the academy facing the rising sun. In the evening, everyone returned to the gate of the college. Seeing the familiar broken door, everyone finally relaxed. This trip is really exciting. Let's go back to rest. Tomorrow morning, gather at the playground. After finishing speaking, Xiao Wu went straight to Flender's dean's room. He had to give a good report on the itinerary. Oscar and Tang San obtained a third spirit ring. This is a trivial matter. The real big deal is, Zhang Tianyu is not a soul master, it's a fucking soul sect. The 12-year-old soul sect. And this kid's 4 soul rings are all 10,000 years old. He's been faking it all along. Zhao Wuji felt that these little girls in the academy had a tendency to blindly worship Zhang Tianyu, but he also understood that such a legendary young man was good-looking and well-spoken. If he was a woman, he would definitely like it too. Are you back? Seeing Xiao Wu coming back, Flender got up and said, "Thank you." That's not right. Zhao Wuji ran all the way, didn't even have time to drink, saw a cup of tea on the dean's desk, picked it up, and poured it down. This trip to the Star Do Forest, I can thank you for your hard work. Do you know what we have encountered? We have encountered the Titan Great Ape. And it is at least 6 years old. What? Flender stood up abruptly, with a look of shock on his face. Have you gone to the inner area? Let's go to the inner area of the ass, and it's not for me to hunt for a soul ring. We are the guy we met in the outer area. How is it possible? Flender felt as if he had been struck by lightning, and he almost couldn't stand still. However, it was also because we met that big guy that we discovered a shocking secret. Zhao Wu smiled and said, "Boss, guess what the secret is?" "I don't have time to guess, tell me quickly." Flender said anxiously. Zhao Wuji smiled, approached Flender, and whispered, "Do you know the real strength of Zhang Tianyu?" Flender was taken aback. "What do you mean? This kid is 12 years old, isn't his soul power at level 38 his true strength?" Xiao Wu Qi looked triumphant like, you don't know, and lowered his voice to the lowest level, that kid is not a soul master. It's a fucking soul sect. I asked, it's a level 42 soul sect. What? Flender sat down on the chair as if struck by lightning again, with a dull, shocked and excited expression on his face. Soul sect. How is it possible? Such a young soul sect. Does this scare you? Zhao Wuji was even more proud. Besides that, that kid has a secret. Believe it or not, I'll beat you. Finish your sentence. Flender really wanted to hit someone. That kid's 4 spirit rings are all black 10,000-year spirit rings. Flender. How is this possible? I was completely dumbfounded at the time. This matter must not be made public, and no one else may know. Don't worry, everyone has a sense of proportion, only our own people know, they won't go out and talk nonsense. At this time, there was a knock on the door, and Yu Xiaogang's voice came from outside the door. Flender, have they all returned? Reminder, received the mission, green mountains don't change, green water flows long. Mission objective, to cheat Yu Xiaogang once and make him look ugly in front of everyone. There is no limit to cheating methods, the more onlookers, the more rewards. Basic task reward, soul power level +1, reward point +1. Failure penalty, none. Zhang Tianyu showed a hearty smile. Yu Xiaogang, we finally meet again, that I really don't see you every day like 3 autumns. After a long absence, my favorite session to cheat you is finally coming. 073 stunning, literally. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next morning, Zhang Tianyu got up early, full of energy. Before going to bed last night, he had finalized the plan for King Yu Xiaogang and rehearsed it several times in his mind. Then he felt that it was not enough, and in the middle of the night when no one was around, he quietly went to the cafeteria to practice for a while, and after confirming that it was correct, he went back to sleep contentedly. Yu Xiaogang, look at how much I love you. Back then, even if it was just to chase girls. I never worked so hard. Hurry up and say, I'm so moved, thank you brother Tianyu. Walking out the door, I just saw Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong walking towards each other. At the same time, Zhu Zhuqin came from another direction. If before, in the eyes of these 3 chicks, Zhang Tianyu was like a god, then now, these 3 chicks really regard Zhang Tianyu as a god. The 12-year-old soul sect, the 4 soul rings are all 10,000 years. Just ask, who can do this except God? I don't know if there is no one who comes after. Anyway, it is absolutely unprecedented. Even without Zhao Wuqi's warning, they all knew the stakes in this matter, so of course they wouldn't go out and talk nonsense. Tianyu, you woke up so early today, how was your rest yesterday? Xiao Wu walked up and hugged his arm naturally. It's not bad, just touch the pillow and sleep until dawn. After speaking, Zhang Tianyu glanced at Zhu Zhuqin. Zhu Zhuqin blushed. When she returned to the academy yesterday, she saw Zhang Tianyu winking at her, and she knew that Zhang Tianyu probably meant that she would not be on the roof at night, but she was still thinking about it, and went up to the roof. But it turned out that Zhang Tianyu was not there, and I went back to the dormitory to sleep. I didn't expect you to be a soul sect, it's amazing. Ning Rongrong's little face flushed with excitement. I've never heard of a 12-year-old soul sect in history. That's right, it's really amazing. Zhu Zhuqin said. Xiao Wu just hugged Zhang Tianyu's arm and smiled sweetly. Without speaking, she didn't mind that Zhang Tianyu didn't tell her that he was already a soul sect. She knew it was shocking. Didn't she tell Zhang Tianyu that she is a soul beast? She understands that if she doesn't tell the other party many things, it's not because she doesn't trust the other party, but because she wants to save the other party a little trouble. After all, in many cases, the more you know, the more dangerous you are. Maybe it's because of the mutated martial soul. Once mutated, the martial soul will become very special. Zhang Tianyu said, just like Ah San's teacher, that is, the master, he is also a mutated martial soul. It is not possessed, but released independently, existing independently, just like a soul beast, which is also very special. A beast spirit that appears alone. That's very special. Zhu Zhuqing was also a beast spirit, and was a little surprised when he heard that the spirit could exist independently. Variation martial souls are really strange. Ning Rongrong said, as the young master of the Seven Treasure Glazed Tiles sect, she has also been exposed to many mutant martial souls since she was a child, but such a powerful mutant martial soul like Zhang Tianyu is really the only one, but then again, whose mutated martial soul is not the only one. Before Yu Xiaogang, he had never heard of anyone whose beast spirit could be released alone. Soon, everyone came to the cafeteria, and happened to see Dai Mubai and Ma Hongjun walking into the cafeteria. Just as Zhang Tianyu was about to say hello, Oscar and Tang San's greeting sounded behind him. Looking back at the two, Zhang Tianyu showed a bright smile. First of all, the students are all together, great. The more people, the better. The more people who see Yu Xiaogang making a fool of himself, the richer the rewards will be. Entering the cafeteria, everyone immediately smelled a tempting aroma of rice. Ah! It smells so good. Ma Hongjun said excitedly, looking at the dining table. There are already a lot of food on it, chicken, duck, fish, vegetables and eggs, everything is available, very rich. Wow! Ning Rongrong and Xiao Wu's eyes lit up, then everyone immediately looked behind the dining table. Dang dang dang, limited, Yu Xiaogang chef skin, debut. Teacher. Tang San suddenly showed shock. Except for Zhang Tianyu and Xiao Wu, everyone else was taken aback. A dull smile appeared on Yu Xiaogang's dull face. They're all here, let's sit down and eat. Everyone sat down quickly. Yu Xiaogang said, eat quickly, we have to go to the playground to gather after eating. At this time, Flender came in, and was taken aback when he saw the sumptuous breakfast. Good guy, Xiaogang, how much did this meal cost? Yu Xiaogang put on a straight face. These children need nutrition very much when they are growing up. How can they eat pickles and rice porridge every day? But, the school's funds are tight. You are the dean, you have to find a way. After Yu Xiaogang finished speaking, he turned and went back to the stove to add some firewood. When everyone heard this, they were so moved. Tang San's teacher is great. Full marks for the first impression. Zhang Tianyu was also very moved, and flicked his fingers very covertly. The item, fuse, has been used. However, Flender said with a bitter face, where can I find a solution? Yu Xiaogang turned around and looked at him. Go to the game, become a thug, there is always a way to make money. As soon as the words fell, Ma Hongjun directly pfft. The whole mouthful of rice came out of his mouth. Everyone was stunned, looked up at Ma Hongjun, then followed Ma Hongjun's line of sight to look at Yu Xiaogang. Everyone was taken aback. Not good, Grandmaster, your hair is on fire. Teacher. Tang San stood up suddenly. Your hair? Yu Xiaogang was taken aback for a moment, and asked back with a dull expression, what's wrong with my hair? Zhang Tianyu almost sprayed rice. Also ask what happened. Don't you smell a smell of burning pig hair? Flender also saw that Yu Xiaogang's hair was burning, and was startled. Xiaogang, your hair is set on fire by the stove. Only now did Yu Xiaogang realize that his head was burning, so he quickly raised his hand to take a picture. In desperation, Flender didn't care about anything else. He looked down and saw a bucket of water beside him, and immediately picked it up and poured it on Yu Xiaogang. Wow! Yu Xiaogang instantly became a drowned rat. Moreover, the clothes were covered with oil stains, rotten vegetable leaves, and dirty sewage, and an unpleasant smell spread. Although the fire was extinguished, Yu Xiaogang broke down even more. Oh no! That's water for washing pots and vegetables. Flender, ah! I don't know. I'm going to change clothes. Yu Xiaogang hurried out. Prop, superglue, has been used. Ah! Yu Xiaogang stopped walking quickly, and he lost his balance instantly and fell forward. Boom! His forehead hit the threshold directly, and his head buzzed suddenly. Although they knew that if they laughed, their merit would be lost, but seeing this situation, everyone couldn't help but want to laugh. Master, are you okay? Tang San hurried over. Teacher, are you okay? The prop, foot oil, has been used. Tang San suddenly slipped his feet, and roared in his heart, "I wipe it." Then he quickly threw himself forward. Boom. His whole body fell on Yu Xiaogang's body. "Be firm." Ah! Yu Xiaogang was hit hard again. "Oh my God! Little San. Master. Are you alright?" Oscar, who was closest to them, hurriedly stood up to help. "The prop, foot oil, has been exchanged and used." "Ouch!" Oscar exclaimed. Boom. Oscar was on top of Tang San. "Be firm." Yu Xiaogang, who was crushed at the bottom, was hit hard again. "Ah, what the hell is going on?" Everyone was dumbfounded. Dai Mubai hurriedly got up and walked over. "Don't come here." Yu Xiaogang let out a miserable scream. But it's too late. "The prop, foot oil, has been exchanged and used." "Damn it!" Dai Mubai exclaimed, barking. Boom. 4 people stacked Arhat successfully. "Ah!" Yu Xiaogang at the bottom screamed again. "Crowd, how miserable. Master is too miserable. But I don't know why, I really want to laugh, I almost spit rice." Zhang Tianyu was shocked on his face and smiled in his heart. Foot oil only needs a reward point to redeem, it is really cheap happiness. But unfortunately, it cannot be used in combat state. 070 The Master and Apprentice. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The place was silent, almost everyone stared wide-eyed and opened their mouths wide, staring blankly at the scene in front of them. For a moment, the few people who were still standing thought it was a welcome ceremony for the master. After all, it is a monster academy. Monsters always think differently from normal people, so it is reasonable to have a different welcome ceremony, but judging from the dazed expressions of Tang San, Oscar, and Dai Mubai baring their teeth, this was an accident at all. Everyone's impression of Yu Xiaogang changed. This is not like the unsmiling and academic master in the legend, but a funny character. Then everyone recalled Tang San's usual state. Although the speed of cultivation is quite fast, but if you fight, you will be given for nothing. To sum it up, it can be summed up in 2 words, pulling the hips. Thinking about it this way, Tang San is definitely a funny character. What a pair of master and apprentice. "Xiaogang, are you alright?" Flender tentatively took a few steps forward. Don't come here." Yu Xiaogang said with some difficulty, "The god of misfortune has come down again, and I have started to be unlucky again. You must not get too close to me." Okay. Flender said quickly. Everyone panicked when they heard it. The god of doom is coming? And what the hell is coming again? All I can say is good guy. Boss Dai, get up quickly, my waist. Oscar screamed. Dai Mubai stood up cautiously, but just as he stood up straight, he bared. Boom. Dai Mubai patted Oscar again. "Ah! My waist!" Oscar cried out in pain. Dai Mubai was confused. What's going on? What's the situation? Why is this broken ground so slippery? Maybe it's because there's water on the ground. Tang San said with some difficulty, being pressed down below. Only then did everyone remember the bucket of water that Flender poured just now. Flender. Blame me? Yu Xiaogang was very calm, and after waiting for about 10 seconds, he dragged out the duration of the soul oil before finally saying, "It's almost there, you guys get up and try it first." Oscar hurriedly said, "Boss Dai, slow down." "I know." Dai Mubai stood up slowly. This time he finally stood firm, and everyone finally breathed a sigh of relief. The others got up one after another. Yu Xiaogang and Tang San were the worst. Yu Xiaogang was already splashed with water, but after falling to the ground, he was covered with soil again. Tang San lay on Yu Xiaogang's body, so his chest was also covered with sewage. The situation of Oscar and Dai Mubai is much better, but the embarrassment is still embarrassment. How embarrassing in front of Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing. Society is dead. I'm going to change clothes. After Yu Xiaogang finished speaking, he left quickly without looking back. I'm going to change myself too. Tang San followed closely behind. Flender also left behind the two without saying a word. seeing Dai Mubai and Oscar with darkened faces, everyone wanted to laugh, but they still held back. Reminder, green mountains do not change, green water flows, the task is completed. Get the basic reward soul power level +1, reward point +1. Reminder, Yu Xiaogang made a fool of himself in front of 9 people, and successfully tricked Tang San, Oscar, and Dai Mubai. The task rewards have been increased. A total of rewards, soul power level +3, reward points +30. Current level, 45, current total points, 2080. What, cool. Is it still necessary to practice? In an eerie atmosphere, breakfast ended, everyone came to the playground. Tang San had been waiting here for a long time. It seemed that he felt really ashamed, so he simply didn't go to the cafeteria to eat. Zhang Tianyu almost laughed out loud, are you not asking for trouble? Today's training content was determined by Yu Xiaogang. Later, you will run around with a stone on your back. You are so brave if you don't eat breakfast. Yu Xiaogang hasn't arrived yet. I don't know if he can't find suitable clothes to change, or he feels ashamed to see these students, so it takes some time to adjust his mentality. At this time, Flender came over. Jianyu, come with me. Under the gaze of everyone, Zhang Tianyu followed Flender out of the playground and came to a secluded place. Zhang Tianyu was a little puzzled. Why did this old man ask me for it? Did he find out that I was cheating? Impossible. If he finds out, then the mission will fail directly. Tianyu, do you know the rules of the academy? I know, Lao Dai has already told us. Zhang Tianyu frowned and said, Dean, I haven't violated any rules. Friend said, I'm not talking about that, I'm talking about graduation rules. Zhang Tianyu suddenly said, oh, Dean, do you want me to graduate? Flender gave him a blank look, just kidding. You are such a good student, I would be willing to let you graduate so soon. It's just that your grade is already listed here, although I don't know what method you used to hide it before. Your own strength and soul ring, but, after all, you are already over level 40. I really don't want you to graduate like this, but as your dean, I must also consider your future and future. Your level is already suitable for studying in a more advanced Soul Master Academy, and with your talent, I believe that any academy in the whole continent will especially want you. Flemish said earnestly. Zhang Tianyu could tell that Flender was not driving him away under the guise of doing his best, but was really thinking about his future. I like it here. Zhang Tianyu said directly, you know, Dean, my parents died when I was very young, and although the people in the village take good care of me, they don't want to get too close to me. Growing up alone, after coming to Shrek Academy, I found a feeling similar to home here. Flender listened carefully. There are fewer people and fewer people. There are not so many intrigues and intrigues. For me, the environment is the most important. Zhang Tianyu said with a smile, of course, if the dean wants to drive me away, he can just say, if you don't want to drive me away, then you don't need to mention such things in the future. Flender laughed, you kindly treated me like a donkey, so you stay here. You can stay as long as you want, ha ha ha. Flender certainly didn't want Zhang Tianyu to go. Such an outstanding student will definitely become a fierce man transcending the world in the future, and the name, Shrek Academy, will also spread throughout the continent along with his prestige. Back on the playground, Yu Xiaogang has already arrived. He looked very stiff and unnatural. Thinking about it, as a teacher, he was stacked in front of the students, and he was still pressed at the bottom. Which teacher can bear this? The teacher doesn't want to lose face, does he? Ahem, I will be your class teacher for the next period of time. Yu Xiaogang finally calmed down. There are only 8 of you in the academy, and in my opinion, you are also a whole. Next I will rank you according to age. No, Dai Mubai, no, Oscar, no, Zhang Tianyu, no, Tang San, no, Ma Hongjun, no, Xiao Wu, no, Ning Rongrong, number 8, Zhu Zhuqing. Okay, you can disband and gather here tomorrow morning. After speaking, Yu Xiaogang turned around and ran away. That's right, it literally means, turn around and run. 0767 Player Group Boss, Zhang Tianyu. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Reminder, the host chose to try C4 Remote Control Bomb, Miniature, for free, and it has been distributed to the system storage space. C4 Remote Control Bomb, Micro, Ejection Use, Remote Control Detonation. The host can choose which part of the body the bomb attaches to, after the bomb is planted. Even if the opponent is a title Douluo, they won't notice it. The extremely precise dose can give the target a momentary extreme sour experience, and it will not be fatal or even cause injury. If it is used on certain weak points, it will be more sour and refreshing. As an old bandit, Zhang Tianyu sees C4 as if he sees his relatives. Of course, there is also the string of 735-5608 that is more familiar than his own phone number. Looking at the hint of, if it is used on certain weak points, it will be more sour and refreshing. The corner of Zhang Tianyu's mouth twitched presumptuously, and a deafening smirk rang out in his heart. Playground, Yu Xiaogang's state is obviously much better than yesterday morning. He is no longer so stiff when he sees everyone, but he looks more dull and stiff, and when he talks, he is also in a state of expressionless face. Zhang Tianyu didn't have any objection to saying that he was a zombie just dug out of the ground. Everyone is in a good state of mind and seems to have had a good rest, and no one was late for breakfast this morning, which is good. Yu Xiaogang said with an extremely stiff expression on his face. Next, Zhang Tianyu, get out. Zhang Tianyu walked out of the team and stood still in front of Yu Xiaogang. I didn't expect that your real strength would be so terrifying. Yu Xiaogang looked at Zhang Tianyu with a gentle expression and soft eyes, as if he was looking at a close junior. Zhang Tianyu felt goosebumps all over his body. Although I haven't seen it with my own eyes, based on my understanding of Flender, I believe him. Yu Xiaogang continued, I've always underestimated you before. It's my fault, it's my fault. Master, you are absurd. Zhang Tianyu said modestly, you nonsense Jill, what the hell can you say quickly? Who wants to hear your praise? You are not some sexy big girl with a hot body and a beautiful face. There is no absurd praise, the facts are right in front of you, so you don't have to be humble. Yu Xiaogang sighed, it's true that everyone's fate is predestined, and it's also a mutated spirit, so you're mutated powerful, but my mutation is so hip. Just get used to it. Zhang Tianyu said, Yu Xiaogang, other people, except for Tang San, the others couldn't help laughing when they looked at Zhang Tianyu. This little mouth speaks really nicely. Host, you did a great job, you should hate him like this. The system praised. Yu Xiaogang sighed, yeah, I've been used to it for a long time, it's just a feeling. Okay, let's talk about today's lesson. Yu Xiaogang put away his feelings and said sternly, among the 8 of you, Zhang Tianyu is the strongest, so now I ask you, Zhang Tianyu, not to hurt you. Defeat them one by one when they are weak. Zhang Tianyu has no expression on his face. Well, I knew it was like this, that's all you have. When you come up, you knock down one by one, and then move the stones. Is this what you call targeted training for each different person? What about theoretical invincibility? This is what you call theoretical invincibility? I think the theory is the same as pulling the hips. If you were Yu Xiaogang, how would you formulate the education method? The system asked. If I were Yu Xiaogang, I would commit suicide directly and formulate a gross education method. Zhang Tianyu said angrily in his heart. Zhang Tianyu didn't respond, and everyone else was taken aback. Good guy, one-on-one with Zhang Tianyu? Isn't that lighting a lantern in the toilet looking for shit? Still not hurt? Which soul skill of Zhang Tianyu is easy to deal with? What? What's your expression? That, teacher. Dai Mubai raised his hand. Personally, I don't think it makes much sense to do so. Oh why? And why? Dai Mubai said, Zhang Tianyu's strength is obvious to all of us. If it's a one-on-one duel, Tang San and I have absolutely no chance of winning, let alone the lower-level Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing and Ma Hongjun. As for Oscar and Ning Rongrong, they are both auxiliary soul masters, so there is no need for a competition. Tang San also said, to put it simply, it is the ultimate speed and strength. Zhang Tianyu's speed and strength have far exceeded the limit that we can deal with alone. That's right, in the Star Do Great Forest at that time, He saved us from the weight of the Titan giant ape with a single soul skill. The Titan giant ape's speed is so fast, and Tianyu's speed is even faster than it. Ma Hongjun also said. Yu Xiaogang nodded. That being said, there is indeed no need to fight alone. Then, how about this, 2 or 3 of you form a team. Let's just form a team of 7 and go together. Zhang Tianyu said, let's treat it as a group of 7 of you to download the dungeon, and then I will be the boss. When this statement came out, everyone was shocked. Flender on the side lifted his glasses and showed a smile. Zhao Waoqi said in a low voice, damn, this kid is really crazy. Are you sure? Yu Xiaogang asked. Their 7-person combination has strong attack, control, support, and sensitive attack. This is a nearly perfect combination. Determine. What about you? Yu Xiaogang asked the 7 of them. The 7 people looked at each other. Finally Dai Mubai said, if Tianyu has no objection, then we have no objection either. Okay. Yu Xiaogang nodded. Be sure to pay attention, click as far as it goes. Besides, Tang San, you can't use those powerful special weapons. Well, I will definitely not use hidden weapons when we compete with each other. Tang San nodded heavily. Then let's start. After finishing speaking, several teachers including Yu Xiaogang and Flender withdrew to the edge of the playground and gave up the field to the group of children. Zhang Tianyu spread his hands. Wang Quan appeared in front of him. Zhang Tianyu showed his evil face again, and the eerie chill spread around the audience around him. How can I do this? Ning Rongrong was dumbfounded. Zhu Zhuqing's little heart also began to beat faster. This is the exchange of ideas. If it is a hostile battle, I will surrender directly. Xiao Wu didn't have much psychological pressure then, anyway, she used to compete every day. The 4th soul skill, in the name of the sword. Zhang Tianyu sent out the 4th soul skill directly, and 7 phantoms of Huangquan appeared around his body, spinning rapidly. Open martial soul. Dai Mubai shouted loudly. 7 colors rose into the sky. 7 treasures are famous, that the martial soul was turned on and the status was full. During this process, Zhang Tianyu just watched silently, and didn't intend to interrupt it. When they were all ready and had already launched an attack on Zhang Tianyu, call. 7 phantoms of the underworld broke through the air. Everyone was shocked, and in the next second, their movements were all frozen in place. There was a handful of yellow springs around everyone's necks, and the icy cold made them have goosebumps all over their bodies, and they dared not move. It's over, you lost. Zhang Tianyu said. 077 Tang 3, ah, my XX. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The place was silent. Clap clap clap. Applause rang out, and Flender and Zhao Waoqi were very satisfied and smiled. I guessed right, the 7 of you will lose, and you will lose very quickly. Flender was obviously very happy, and laughed. This is the only time I lost, and I didn't feel panicked. Zhao Waoqi also smiled happily. Good guy, it's just a matter of seeing each other. Is this a bet? While complaining in his heart, Zhang Tianyu raised his hand to retract the 7 swords. You guys are really addicted to gambling. Yu Xiaogang said. Hey, don't be so stern all the time. Flender patted him on the shoulder. Life is already so boring, why not make it more interesting? You see, Lao Zhao didn't say anything when he lost. Yu Xiaogang shook his head, looked at Dai Mubai and the others. Too slow, you are too slow. The crowd was silent. In fact, they wanted to refute that it wasn't that they were too slow, but that Zhang Tianyu was too fast, but after thinking about it, I felt that the rebuttal was meaningless. Zhang Tianyu's speed is so fast, and it seems that Zhang Tianyu hasn't exerted his full strength yet. If Zhang Tianyu is asked to slow down and let the water go, then the discussion will be meaningless. Besides, if it was not a sparring match, but a death fight, then they would have all died at the moment just now. A real enemy won't release water. Zhang Tianyu's speed is fast, so adapt to this speed and make yourself faster and stronger. This is the only solution. If you want to win, you can't expect to make the enemy weaker, but try to make yourself stronger. Now you have another chance to challenge Zhang Tianyu. Yu Xiaogang continued. Zhang Tianyu, just like before, what you have to do is to defeat them in the shortest time. And what you have to do is to persist for a longer time, understand? Understand. Now that you have a general understanding of the strength gap between the two sides, you have a quarter of an hour to discuss countermeasures against Zhang Tianyu. Being able to challenge again and have time to discuss tactics, the 7 of them immediately became excited. Zhang Tianyu expressed a little pain in the ass. Good guy, the co-author really treats me as the raid boss. Want to write a strategy? Alright, anyway, I'm invincible, you can do whatever you want. A quarter of an hour passed quickly, and the 7 people confidently walked up to Zhang Tianyu and stood still. The formation is still the same as before. Dai Mubai was at the front, Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing were scattered on both sides, Tang San was in the center, behind were Oscar and Ning Rongrong, Ma Hongjun, and the 2 of them stood on the same level, slightly forward, on the one hand as protection, on the other hand can also provide long-range fire support. Start. Following Flender's order, a huge spider web first appeared in front of the 7 people, with obvious intentions. On the one hand, it blocked Zhang Tianyu's flying sword flying from the front, and on the other hand, it also blocked Zhang Tianyu's sight. With a wave of Zhang Tianyu's sword finger, Wang Quan flew away, and with a few chirps, he easily chopped the spider web into pieces. As soon as the spider web was shattered, Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing turned into 2 beams of extremely fast light and rushed straight towards Zhang Tianyu. At the same time, the blue-silver grass broke through the ground and shot at Zhang Tianyu from 3 different directions. This is not over yet. Dai Mubai activated the white tiger light wave, attacking from the front. Ma Hongjun also launched an attack at the same time. A phoenix line of fire shot from the right rear. It means that at this moment, Zhang Tianyu has to face attacks from 7 different directions at the same time. Yu Xiaogang, Flender, and Zhao Wuji all nodded secretly. These students are not idiots. At least the first wave of offensives played well. The corner of Zhang Tianyu's mouth curled up. His strategy was good, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough to deal with me. With one move of his hand, Wang Quan flew back. He jumped into the air and stepped on Wang Quan. The next second, 3 streaks of blue and silver grass followed him and jumped into the air. At the same time, behind Dai Mubai, Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing all grew up. A pair of wings flew up into the sky, and flew towards Zhang Tianyu at high speed. Want to enter Fei Fei mushroom sausage? Hee, it's interesting to roar. Unfortunately, can you keep up with my speed? Second soul skill, promise flying sword. Zhang Tianyu's voice resounded throughout the audience. Wang Quan flew out from under his feet, and in the next second, lightning flashed from the blade of his sword. Everyone present was taken aback. Where did the light come from? What kind of soul skill is this? Xiao Wu immediately recalled the fear of being dominated by the thunder sword, and her expression changed on the spot. Not good. Rewind. She immediately flapped her wings and retreated. Dai Mubai reacted very quickly retreated, but it was too late for Zhu Zhuqing to retreat, because the thunder sword was running towards her, and after all, she was of the agility attack system, and her speed was far faster than others, so she could be regarded as the first bird. Buzz. Huang Quan passed by Zhu Zhuqing's side, and a strong electric current surged through her body in an instant. She was paralyzed on the spot, and she fell straight from midair like a wooden stake. Dai Mubai looked at this scene, his mind went blank. At this moment, he fell into deep self-blame. Why didn't Zhu Zhuqing be considered and retreated by himself first? At this time, Zhu Zhuqing needs someone to pick him up and protect him the most. He flapped his wings to pick it up, but it was too late. Crucial moment that it has to be Zhang Tianyu. You can always trust Zhang Tianyu. Zhang Tianyu activated the flying ability attached to the sole bone of his left leg, flew to Zhu Zhuqing's side at an extremely fast speed, and stretched out his hand to hug her in his arms. Although my whole body was paralyzed by the electricity and my body was stiff, the touch was still as good as ever. After catching Zhu Zhuqing, Zhang Tianyu turned over and flew to the edge of the playground, and put Zhu Zhuqing on the edge of the playground. Zhu Zhuqing is out. Yu Xiaogang shouted. At this moment, Zhu Zhuqing's numbness had receded. He took a few breaths, and then looked at the back of Zhang Tianyu flying to the battlefield with gentle eyes. This man can always be trusted. Even now he is an enemy. Nothing moves a woman more than this. On the other hand, looking at Dai Mubai who had already flown away, Zhu Zhuqing sighed in his heart, forget it, and don't want to say anything more, so let it be. In the sky, sword energy is everywhere. Xiao Wu and Dai Mubai hurriedly dodged. The three blue-silver grasses that had rushed into the sky were cut into pieces by the attacking sword energy. A wave of sword energy flew by. Xiao Wu and Dai Mubai stabilized their figures. Dai Mubai asked in a panic, "Where's the flying sword?" As soon as the words fell, the master's voice sounded, "Oscar, Ning Rongrong, out." The two turned pale with shock, looking to the rear of the formation. Oscar and Ning Rongrong had already been paralyzed by the electricity, and fell to the ground in convulsions. Good guy. Dai Mubai was shocked. Zhang Tianyu's tactic is really awesome. A wave of sword energy strikes east and west. Avoided the two attackers, and then went straight to the back row to assist. Zhang Tianyu smiled. Cut milk first in team battles, this tactic is always correct. So here comes the question, what is Tang San doing? Why didn't he use the blue-silver grass to resist the flying sword? Xiao Wu and Dai Mubai looked at Tang San, suddenly stunned. For some unknown reason, Tang San was lying on the ground clutching a certain part, with a painful expression on his face. Ah, what happened to Senmo? The faces of all the people are covered. 078 Good boy Zhang Tianyu. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The system admires Zhang Tianyu in all its admiration. Don't look at this guy who has been living in a peaceful age before, but this guy's fighting ability is top-notch. His combat experience and ability to grasp combat opportunities are much higher than Tang San, who lived in the martial arts world of swords, lights and swords in his previous life. Turn back time 30 seconds, the flying sword with thunder and lightning successfully shot down Zhu Zhuqing, bypassing Dai Mubai and Xiao Wu and going straight to the back row. All of this was monitored by Tang San's purple demon eye. When Feijian flew towards Ning Rongrong and Oscar, didn't Tang San stop it? No, of course he blocked it. There were two blue-silver grasses lurking in the soil under his feet, ready to go, just to prevent Zhang Tianyu from making a surprise attack on the back row. When the flying sword struck, Tang San resolutely controlled the blue-silver grass to break out of the ground, and one branch flew into the sky, trying to stop the flying sword. The other one flew towards Ning Rongrong and Oscar, preparing to drag them elsewhere. As a result, the moment he spread his legs, pointed to the sky, and controlled the blue-silver grass to break through the ground, C4 detonated. Tang San only heard a crisp sound like pants shattering, and then there was a sharp pain in an indescribable part. The blue-silver grass lost control, so it failed to block the flying sword, let alone cover the retreat of the two auxiliary soul masters, and Tang San couldn't care about those anymore. At this moment, he could only kneel on the ground, clutching an indescribable part, with a painful expression on his face. Damn it! Why is the crotch of the trousers torn at this time? I have never ridden a dog before. And if it breaks, just break it, where the broken thread collapsed. It hurts. Damn it, it hurts. Besides, there is no sound around, everyone must be looking at me like a clown. It's over. I'm dead again. Damn it. Damn it. Tang San, are you alright? Dai Mubai asked with a strange expression. Yu Xiaogang also looked worried. The pain gradually receded. Tang San finally began to breathe heavily, but he still didn't dare to move rashly. He could only maintain a very strange posture, kneeling on the ground, and said with difficulty, "No. It's nothing serious." "Dean, teacher, do you want to pause first?" Zhang Tianyu looked at Yu Xiaogang, Flender and others. Yu Xiaogang, Flender and Zhao Waoqi looked at each other, and they all saw helplessness and speechlessness in each other's eyes. This Tang San, why does it feel like he will lose the chain every time he fights? The speed of cultivation is so fast. I have reached the Soul Master at the age of 12, I thought I was a genius, but every time I fight, something goes wrong. What's the use of just practicing fast? Cultivation is for fighting to be able to win. If you can't win a fight, no matter how fast you practice, it will be of use. Let's pause for a moment. Yu Xiaogang was still Tang San's teacher after all, walked up to Tang San, leaned over and asked, "Little San, what's wrong with you?" Tang San was about to cry. So frustrating. What a shame. Teacher, my pants were torn, then, the thread broke and hit my. Okay, you don't need to talk about it, I understand. The expression on Yu Xiaogang's face was quite interesting. As a man, he certainly knows how painful it is for a man's weakness to be hit, but the question is this really too miserable? It happened that the pants were torn, the thread just broke, still hit the weak point. How come it's such a coincidence? Let's take a break first. Yu Xiaogang said, anyway, there will be opportunities to compete in the future. Okay, sorry, teacher. There is no need to apologize. Whether it is in life or on the battlefield, various accidents will always happen. This is inevitable and no one can control it. Can you walk now? Yes. Tang San stood up with some difficulty, left the playground with Yu Xiaogang's support, and sat on the bench outside the playground. His face was hot and he didn't dare to look up. Why on earth am I so miserable? Why am I so unlucky? Not long ago, he ran away in front of everyone. Now the pants are shredded in front of everyone. Can I still live here? Should I change my college life, or even change the city, change the country? Anyway, I feel like I can't stay with Shrek anymore. Without Tang San as the control, Zhu Zhuqing as the assassin and the two supporters, the remaining three little CS would be easy to fight. Zhang Tianyu solved Xiao Wu, Dai Mubai and Ma Hongjun in minutes. I don't think it's enough to fight at all. Flender laughed, with Zhang Tianyu such a super little monster, Flender is happy every day. It's really not enough to fight. Zhao Wuji said, I feel that this kid can fight back and forth with us. Flender smiled and said, try it another day. Zhao Waoqi recalled their experiences on the day they entered school, and waved his hands. Forget it, I don't want to try it anymore. If you want to try it, you can try it, anyway, you both can fly. At that time, Zhang Tianyu was still hiding his strength, and he was able to fight back and forth with Zhao Wuji. Now Zhang Tianyu doesn't need to hide his strength anymore, he will fight more aggressively. Don't look at Zhang Tianyu's fight with these 7 little red guys for so long now, it's because this kid is holding back his strength. If he fights with a master like Zhao Wuji, this kid will definitely go all out, and he will definitely not be as good as Zhao Wuji by then. Juice to eat. Today's game really shocked me a lot, and gave me a lot of surprises, but it also has a lot of shortcomings. Yu Xiaogang said, you have discussed a good countermeasure, but unfortunately, something went wrong during execution. Dai Mubai said, I didn't expect Tianyu to have, Thunder Sword, self-created soul skill, we were caught off guard. Yu Xiaogang asked back, will the enemy who wants to kill you tell you all his abilities before killing you, and give you time to think about countermeasures? Dai Mubai was speechless. The battlefield is the place where the ability to adapt to changes is most tested. Without this ability, or if this ability is poor, the only outcome is death. Yu Xiaogang shook his head. Tianyu is already very lethargic. If this is a death match, the 7 of you will not be able to fight for 5 minutes. If it can't last, it will become a corpse all over the place. Everyone was silent, and there was no way to refute this. Zhang Tianyu's strength is really too strong, the strongest point lies in his almost bug speed, just like what he said before. The soul skills of the world are unbreakable, only fast, the speed is extremely fast, it is invincible. It's a good thing for all of you to have a master like Tianyu as your training partner. If you can adapt to his speed, you will be invincible within the same level. Zhang Tianyu is helpless, it seems that this group boss will probably take a while. The 7 of you also need physical training. Go to the gate of the academy. There are stones I prepared for you. Each of you should carry 1 piece of stone and run back and forth 10 times from the academy to Suatua City. Tianyu, you are in charge of supervision. No. Zhang Tianyu shook his head immediately, we are classmates, comrades in arms, and a whole body, so we must be punished together. After speaking, Zhang Tianyu was the first to run out. Everyone was moved. Dai Mubai only felt that his blood was full of enthusiasm. That's right, we are a whole, that the others nodded and followed closely behind. Yu Xiaogang, Flender and Xiao Wu nodded repeatedly. This child Tianyu is strong and sensible, he is really a good boy. Yu Xiaogang looked satisfied. 079 A real monster. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this time, it is definitely not possible to choose supervision. Once you choose supervision, the distance between you and everyone will be widened, and estrangement will appear. With a barrier, Zhang Tianyu will be isolated immediately, but don't underestimate the malice of people's hearts. Although Zhang Tianyu doesn't like Western culture, he has to admit that it is very, very reasonable to rank jealousy as the second of the 7 deadly sins. As long as there is a mentality of jealousy, even two people who were gluey the day before will become mortal. Enemies with deep hatred in their hearts the next day after one night, when your best friend, or even boyfriend and girlfriend, flirtatious object, starts to be polite to you, you should be careful about being stabbed in the back. So here comes the question, why did Yu Xiaojiang's grandson ask me to supervise him? Zhang Tianyu wondered in his heart, did he deliberately want to create a gap between me and them? Unlikely, because Yu Xiaojiang has no reason to do so. Yu Xiaojiang didn't know that I had tricked him. In his eyes, I was the most powerful genius in the academy. Only by being united with my classmates can the academy be stronger, so he would not deliberately let me have a gap with them. % is just a test. The system said, or, in their eyes, they no longer regard you as a student, but gradually regard you as a teacher, because your strength is too strong, and you have already reached graduation standard. It's all possible. Zhang Tianyu agreed. Anyway, no matter what, you have to choose to run with them. Think about me, the dignified soul sect, the holder of the second martial spirit in the world, the master of the underworld, the spokesperson of the god of death. Will I die if I run a few steps with a stone on my back? Meeting. Oh shit. The stones in my basket are so taller than the basket. Yu Xiaojiang, I'm going to kill you. You always have to pay it back when you come out to hang out. You cheat people every day, and it's a normal human relationship to be cheated by someone once. The system said sarcastic words. Zhang Tianyu rolled his eyes and ignored the system. To be honest, it doesn't matter if the stone is bigger, this weight won't do anything to him at all. The real problem was that the stone was too big and filled the basket to the brim. He couldn't share it with the girls. Don't they have to rely on Dai Mubai and Tang San to share it with them? Is such a good opportunity to gain favorability handed over to Tang San and Dai Mubai? No, absolutely not. Wow. Tianyu, the stone in your basket is so big. Oscar exclaimed. The others were also shocked. Wow. It's really big. Xiao Wu exclaimed. Tianyu's is the biggest. Ning Rongrong exclaimed. I'm the biggest today. Zhang Tianyu gave a thumbs up. The crowd laughed. Before I start running, I have to talk about my thoughts. Zhang Tianyu said seriously. The others put away their smiles, and their expressions became serious. Dai Mubai asked, what? The teacher's intention is the same as what I just said. We are a whole. Zhang Tianyu stretched out a finger. So, we should unite as one, share weal and woe, complete tasks, and make progress together. Of all of us, Oscar and Ning Rongrong, as auxiliary soul masters, have the weakest physical strength, so even if they have the smallest stones in their baskets, it is difficult to complete this task without using soul power. Oscar nodded. He had already carried the basket on his back. Without using my soul power, I already feel a bit heavy. Yes, first of all we have to keep a consistent pace. Rong, you are weak in physical fitness, and you must not be able to run fast, so we will keep the same pace with you. Zhang Tianyu looked at Ning Rongrong and said. N. Ning Rongrong's face flushed, and she was moved when she saw Zhang Tianyu. So careful, so considerate, so loving. But this alone is not enough. I should have the strongest physical strength, so if you feel that your physical strength is not enough later, you can share some stones with me. We must complete the task together. But isn't this considered cheating? Ma Hongjun asked. Of course not. The total weight remains the same. As a whole team, we should help each other. If you are exhausted and can't run, but I finish running early and stand aside and watch, that's called is it a team? Is that still called a whole? That's right, what Tianyu said is right, Tang San said, I believe that's the teacher's intention. Tang San, the master's only disciple, agreed, what else can others say? But you have too many stones, Xiao Wu said, I can't fit any other stones. That's not easy, Zhang Tianyu smiled, and with a wave of his finger, Huang Quan flew out without a sound. A burst of cutting cut the big stone into small stones, and filled the gaps in the basket, leaving a lot of space. Anyway, the weight remains the same, so it's not a violation. Okay, then let's go. In the evening, Yu Xiaogang and several other teachers were already waiting at the gate of the college. Seeing the scene in front of them, the teachers were all shocked. Xiao Wu, Tang San and Ma Hongjun are all alright, but they are carrying more stones than at the beginning. Dai Mubai had a stone on his chest, and Oscar on his back, and Zhang Tianyu was the most awesome, with the stones that had overflowed from the basket on his back, Ning Rongrong on his left shoulder, and Zhu Zhuqing on his right, and since it was carried, the posture must be head back, so Zhang Tianyu naturally had to support the thighs of the two with his hands, and close to the location of the small pages. This touch. Damn, it's so cool. However, Zhang Tianyu didn't have time to enjoy this touch at all. Because I'm so fucking tired. This big basket of stones weighs at least, kilograms. The two girls combined, Ning Rongrong is okay, she is relatively thin and not very heavy, but Zhu Zhuqing is very explosive. Super meaty. The two of them add up to at least 100 kilograms, which means at least 150 kilograms in total, at least 300 caddies. What kind of concept is this? Who can carry a 300-pound pig? Not relying on soul power, relying solely on physical strength, carrying such a heavy burden, Zhang Tianyu was really out of breath. Dai Mubai was also exhausted, so he didn't really care about the matter of Zhu Zhuqing fell on Zhang Tianyu, and then he wanted to carry Zhu Zhuqing, but was rejected by Zhu Zhuqing, and instead carried Oscar. Finally, they staggered to the gate. Xiao Wu, Tang San and Ma Hongjun put down the stones, collapsed on the ground and began to pant. When Dai Mubai put down Oscar, he also fell to the ground. Zhang Tianyu gently put down Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing, then untied the basket and put it on the ground, and stretched his shoulders. Yu Xiaogang and others looked at Zhang Tianyu with the eyes of a real monster. Zhang Tianyu was still standing, and he was still moving his shoulders, and he was walking around slowly, soothing the muscles in his limbs. If Flender hadn't followed the supervision all the way, Yu Xiaogang would almost have thought that Zhang Tianyu had cheated with his soul power. What is this about human physical strength? This is a real monster, a real monster.